Now, talking about the National Assembly and the President coming in there, I think this seems to be the second time he will be doing it. He will be making such a broadcast to the nation through the National Assembly. Now, help us to also understand what prompted this. You just talked about the significance, and how do you think this will impact on democracy? Is this just a number, just because we want to have it that way, or you think it will have a positive impact on our democratic experience that you decide to introduce this measure?
Yes, it must have a lot of positive impacts in nurturing our democracy. It's not only President Tinubu that does this. President of America, from time to time, especially when they want to celebrate special programs like the Democracy Day, you can see the president coming to address the parliament. Obama did it, Trump did it, other presidents used to come and address the parliament from time to time. As to the economic benefit, you agree with me that under democratic setting, like I said, the parliament remains the representative of the people. And in knowledge of the fact that you cannot gather all Nigerians in one room or under one roof for the president to address them. Yes, somebody can say, he can say address the nation through media houses. But the parliament, being the direct representative of the people, is an avenue for the president to come, tell us what he has done, vis-a-vis the support given to him, and way forward. Do you understand? I believe in that meeting, the leadership of the National Assembly will also let the executive know what we've done and what we intend to do. So by the time the two arms of government comes to terms on what they have for Nigerians, I believe that Nigerians will have better chances, to gain in terms of democracy dividends, to the nation. So it's a very good opportunity, and we commend Mr. President. It's also a mark of respect, to the parliament, for the president to, from time to time, come to address the parliament. So it's a mark of honor to us, which we are not taking for granted. And we want to assure Nigerians that we will use the opportunity, to brainstorm and crossbreed ideas on how best to navigate, out of most of our national problems. For example, security, we still have challenges on that. You can see what is happening in Benue. You can see what is happening in some of the northern states. So we believe that with this discussion, we'll come to a better footing on how best all these problems, can be addressed. But of a truth, I think as a nation, going by the economic policies and programs the current president, have put in place, I believe that Nigeria is on the rise. And I must say categorically that since the Fourth Republic, from 1999, this is one of the best presidents that Nigeria has ever produced. Why do I say so? Most times we keep lamenting, we keep abusing our leaders, but lamentation never solved a problem of any nation. What can solve our problem is ideas. The opposition should come up with ideas, not to criticize the government, even when the government is taking the right step towards correcting our anomalies. In knowledge of the fact that the problem we have today in Nigeria was not just caused, by this government. It is an underlined neglect of doing the right thing, taking the necessary economic policies that led us to where we are. That is why there is hunger on the land. That is why there is insecurity. But when I have a man who thinks outside the box, this is a man that is thinking of how to increase our revenue. Because one thing is making a budget. And no matter how beautiful a budget may be, if there is not enough resources to prosecute that budget will end up as a beautiful nonsense. So President Tinubu said, Nigeria's budget is increasing. But if we make these budgetary provisions without resources to fund this budget, it becomes a beautiful nonsense. All so right. What do we do? That is why he came up with this tax bill reform. The tax bill reform will try to strengthen...
You will need to take a quick commercial break now. You'll still continue with that line of thought. But don't go anywhere. We'll still have more for you on the program. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
It's not really inviting. And if you can see, as Abuja is concerned, the rent rate is increasing day by day. Well, no doubt, I'm a realtor, but it's not really... The standard of living in Abuja is shaky.
Let our leaders unite themselves, at least make peace to reign in our country and help the poor. People are suffering and there's hunger in the land and the killings that is going on. The only thing we need in our country, we need to be united. Our leaders need to come together to find way forward for our country. So we'll have a very good democracy. So that come 2027, we're going to have a very good democracy day.
Some other parents disappointed to pay school fees because the one that pay school fees is not doing job. So what is the essence? Better make her eat now than to pay another child school fees, and which is wrong. We are going to worse situation. Somebody that go to school, he has to think very well to fulfill the promise. You understand? But if you not go to school, it's automatically you are going to do wrong thing.
So we do not have any reason to be hungry in this country. Not at all. Just look at grass growing there with no fertilizer, nothing. It means that if you plant a maize there and you nurture it, it will grow. Israel is in the desert and they're doing well. Haba. So if you say democracy, we've done well, no. Because I'm afraid the last time my son asked me, Daddy, but you said democracy is for the people, by the people. I was just looking at him because he asked me a critical question because we went to the polling unit together. They chased us away from there. And I couldn't answer him because he was saying it. So what they know now is that it's either you are a violent person or you have much money to buy vote.
Our leaders need to be people-centric, knowing that without the development, human capital development, the nation will suffer. So they should focus more on intellectual capital. I believe that if the country can focus on intellectual capital so that we can export knowledge and ideas, Nigeria can be great. Because with intellectual capital, there is innovation. With intellectual capital, there is self-development. With intellectual capital, there are lots of breakthroughs in various and diverse areas of life. So what Nigeria needs now is some level of cooperation and collaboration with different structures.
That's the voice of Nigerians there on the street. Quite, I would say, relatable because everybody is really feeling the heat in this regard. Well, Senator Nwebonyi, you heard what Nigerians have to say. And a lot of people would say that a lot of our leaders, a lot of the politicians seem disconnected from reality because the leaders are saying things are improving. But the voice of the street seems to be saying otherwise. How do you marry this together and how do you win back the trust of the public when they don't even feel the benefits of democracy?
Well, I think the problem we're having there is a kind of communication gap between what the government of the day is doing, is not being properly communicated to the people. I was just trying to lay a background of some of the economic policies of President Bola Tinubu, which no other president has ever done. And I must say that if the past president have laid this foundation, Nigeria would have been doing better. And all these complaints couldn't have, be coming up now. But for the fact that some of our past leaders have neglected to lay this mandatory economic foundation. I say mandatory because you can't place something upon nothing and expect it to stand. It's only when you put the correct economic measures in place that you can get the economic benefit. And I started with the tax reform bill. Nigeria is increasing in population every day, meaning that the problems of the government is also on the rise. You also discover that government, like I said, no matter how beautiful a budget is, if there is no resources to fund the budget, then it's a beautiful nonsense. That is why, Mr. President, went to strengthen our economic base by strengthening our tax base. Considering our population, considering the economic activities in Nigeria, our tax institution is supposed to be, one of our mainstay of our economy. But if you tell an average Nigerian to pay tax, he will think that you are bullying him because of how down our tax morale have actually gone. But look at other countries, UK, they don't have oil, but they are doing what they are doing based on tax and other economic policies. So what am I trying to say? Nigerians should be grateful to God for having President Tinubu, a man with the understanding as to how things work. And if we are patient with him, in no time, some of these economic policies will start bearing fruit. For example, let's look at his economic policies on infrastructure development. considering, how we're expanding economically and population-wise, most of our roads are no more enough for Nigerians. That is why President wants to expand the road by creating other roads, like the Coastal Road and other Trans-Sahara roads, which will be an alternative route to Nigerians. For example, if you are coming to Lagos, which is center of excellence, of course, almost every Nigerian has business in Lagos. If you are going to Lagos from Akwa Ibom, or from Cross River, or from Delta State, you don't need to navigate your way through Enugu, through Onitsha Highway. You can as well follow the Coastal Road. By constructing that Coastal Road, you can see more economic corridors be open for Nigerians. That is what we are talking about.
Distinguished. Interestingly,